Jimmy Butler playing tonight for the Timberwolves, which of course is exactly what Tom Thibodeau wanted. And here was him talking after shoot-around.
Are you excited to get the season started?
Who, me? Yeah, sure. I love the game of basketball. I just want to compete, show that I can hang with the best of them. I'm playing against some really good friends tonight, but I got my brothers that got the same jersey on that I have on. So we're going to go out there, we're going to compete. I'm going to foul tomorrow really, really hard, at least once, maybe twice. Try not to get thrown out the game, but there'll be a lot of emotion, a lot of hustle. That's what I can guarantee out of our team. I'm not thinking about a thing right now. I have no worries in the world. I'm fortunate to be able to play basketball every single day with these incredible group of guys. I'm seriously just going out there and playing basketball.
I had a chance to chat with Jimmy real briefly this morning, and that last part is 100% true, is that he feels he's going to go on the court. He can control things, right, between the lines of the basketball court. That is a place where he can go and do the things that he most loves to do. So he is being sincere when he says that. Of course, he now still, all of the machinations here, they're still going on, Woj. It's not like he doesn't still want to trade, and Thibs still doesn't want to trade him, right?
Right. The L.A. hat, probably a tribute to the Minneapolis Lakers, right? Probably.
Yeah, totally.
An LA hat today was
totally what that was about.
perfect. Not the Clippers, there wasn't an LAC on it.
Never.
No, but you said it, Rich. This is exactly what Tom Thibodeau wanted, which was him in the lineup on opening night. This is why the day that Jimmy came back and practiced, Thibs won. He waited out his owner. He waited out Jimmy, got him back on the court. And that's why, listen, teams who talked to Minnesota after his first practice, literally the day after his first practice, Minnesota was asking for more then than they were before
amazing
the day.
To me.
But which tells you this: Minnesota's not trading them, and so they're asking for packages that they know teams aren't going to agree to. Now, at some point, that will have to end as we get closer to the February trade deadline. If they're going to trade them, I think you'll see a lot of teams circle back who've been involved in this before when they feel like Minnesota's ready to get realistic. But Tom Thibodeau's got what he wants. He's got him on the floor, and he knows there was no trade he could make that would help his team more, despite all the dysfunction, than keeping Jimmy Butler here.
Well, my thing is I'm with Thibs on this because the caliber player that Jimmy is to go along with these two young bucks that they have, if these guys can put in the work that satisfies Jimmy, because part of me feels like he thinks these guys, is just out for their numbers. They don't, Wiggins doesn't play hard. If these guys can give Jimmy everything that he wants, Minnesota can be a really good team with the three of these guys and what they have around them. So I think everything is really predicated on the two other guys, Cat and Wiggins, to keep this guy happy and keep him there. Because if you look at what they accomplished last year before he got hurt, they had home court advantage.
Yeah, three seeds.
This has been my point. This has been one of my points the whole time. Is who is Jimmy going to go play with in Miami that's taking him to a championship? Who is he going to go play with in Brooklyn that's taking him to a championship? Now the Clippers might be able to get another guy, but right now they don't have that guy. If you're Jimmy Butler, the Warriors aren't going to be around forever. The Rockets aren't going to be around forever. Forget Wiggins. Wiggins is what he is. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be a top 10 player in the NBA. You don't want to play with that? Now, maybe he's just out for his numbers. He obviously needs to get better on defense, but that's a guy I wouldn't mind playing with.
I want to follow up on what Woj said about the practice, though, and the asking price going up, because there seems to be such a division in NBA circles on whether, was what Jimmy did in that practice good and energetic, or was it terrible and disrespectful? I heard you, Zach, on your podcast with Jeff Van Gundy, and Jeff was very down on it. He said that rips apart a team, and that it was disrespectful, and that Jeff Van Gundy had issue in the interview we did with Jimmy. Jimmy said, I know Thibs. He's back there. He's closed the door to his office. He's sitting there and smiling. It's exactly what he always wanted. You're a player. You have been in practices where someone has come out and been the alpha or been in a potentially divisive situation. What did you think of that hugely contentious practice?
I thought it was some BS first that it got out about Jimmy leading a third team, beating the first string team. I mean, that's something you don't want to get out.
It got out like this.
You're still in training camp, right?
Right.
There's 18, 19 players, there's coaches, there's trainers. Anything that happens in an NBA practice is going to get out. There's too many people in there.
It is, but this such a, I don't know what, I mean, it's such a sensitive time right now, with Jimmy wanting to get out. This shouldn't get out because it's just going to separate this team. Like, now you looking at the first string, they're coming in, Jimmy walking in the locker room, they looking at him sideways and mumbling under their breath, and you think you this, you think you that. And we don't know what really happened in that practice, right? I mean, I know it got out that they say he took the third team and beat the first three. We don't know what took place, and if the guys was really playing, they probably was like, we don't care. We don't want this guy in our practice. Everything that's been going on in the offseason, we don't even want him in our practice, so we're just going to go through this.
Listen, the veterans loved this. The guys who've been with him in the past, guys who've been in the league longer, they thought this team needed it. Some of them listen, Taj Gibson has played in the past with them. They've been together a long time. Jeff Teague's been around this league a long time. I think a lot of the younger guys, the two guys who were targets and who didn't get along with them last year, and then there's some other younger players who this is new to them. Some of these guys haven't been around Jimmy Butler before. It was a shock to their system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, look, I think we have our answer. From what you're telling me sitting here, I think we have our answer on whether Tom Thibodeau liked it, because if you're telling me he raised his asking price for Jimmy Butler after that practice, kind of tells us what we need to know about what he thought about it.